After a long 8 years, the Switch 2 is finally here. With so much hype and discourse around the console, I just had to know what it was like myself. So when April 24th came around, after much stress, I managed to snag a pre-order, put my feet up, and began waiting for June 5th to come around. For a moderately big Nintendo fan like myself, the wait for the console was excruciating. Especially because I lived in a state that didn't get access to the Switch 2 experience for launch. But my friend Banana did. He got to play the console early, even made a whole video about it. I didn't want to admit it, but I was kinda jealous that he got to play it for me, and I still had to wait. So I waited, and I waited, and I waited, till finally on June 5th, when I drove down to my local Best Buy and finally managed to pick up a Switch 2 of my own. Out of the box, the first thing that immediately struck me was just how much larger the Switch 2 is compared to the Switch 1. Now, my original Switch is still from the console's launch year back in 2017. It's got its fair share of cracks. The detection for the Joy-Cons are actually connected to the console is a bit spotty, which makes playing handheld a pain most of the time. But hey, it's never at drift. But really, after all this time, it was just nice to finally hold a brand new console, and the console itself is really nice to hold. I know a lot of people were worried about the new magnetic Joy-Cons snapping off too easily, but honestly, the magnets they use are really strong, and it's pretty difficult taking them off without pressing the release button. While I normally play most games in docked mode, I must say the built-in screen is genuinely beautiful. None of the games I own currently use the 120Hz refresh rate, even the 60 frames per second is buttery smooth. The Joy-Cons themselves are very nice to hold and use as well. As someone with big hands who always found the original Joy-Cons being way too small to use on their side, these ones actually feel very nice, especially with the bigger GL and GR buttons. I do have small gripes with the straps and the grip that comes with the console, however. While they're very high quality, the straps not being magnetic like the console or the grip just feels weird, and they're really easy to lose. And the grip works fine enough, but there's this weird gap between the Joy-Con and the grip on either side of the controller that just kind of makes it uncomfortable to hold. Though I assume it's like that so the Joy-Cons themselves are easier to take on and off since they don't slide into place anymore. I didn't get any of the accessories with my Switch 2 outside of a new micro SD card, so I can't say anything on the camera, but my friend Squibs bought the Pro controller and says it's quite a bit better than the original model, though he finds it too easy to accidentally press the back buttons. The software of the console itself is nothing to write home about in all honesty. The home screen and the overall UI is pretty much identical to the Switch 1, with just more curves and different sounds when interacting with it. Overall, the console itself improves on most all the issues I had with the Switch 1 hardware-wise. Being backwards compatible with nearly every original Switch game, the Switch 2 already has a game lineup comparable to the PS5 and Xbox Series consoles. Some games even got updates, both free and paid for, to make them run even better on Switch 2. Even games that didn't get any update whatsoever still perform leagues better than they did on the original Switch. Smash Ultimate was one of the games that stood out to me as being much better to use on Switch 2. Even without any kind of update, loading is much quicker across the board. I also played a bit of Mario Maker 2 because I had heard that a lot of the old lag strategies were less effective. And while there definitely was a difference, I didn't play enough of the game on Switch 1 to really get much out of it on the new system. Out of every game that got announced to be getting a free update, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet was by far the one I was most excited for. The game ran awful on Switch 1, with constant slowdowns, numerous glitches, and visuals that could look decent at times, but overall were some of the worst in the series to date. But on Switch 2, this is a dream come true. Boxes load faster, the game runs at a smooth 60 frames per second, the visuals are much sharper, tons more Pokemon spawn, it's amazing. Of course, the game still has its fair share of pop-in and dull visuals, but when it runs this good, I can give it a pass. As an avid shiny hunter, this is gonna be an absolute game changer. I even managed to find a shiny on stream while running around Area Zero. Hey, so you know when I said, oh, maybe we run into a shiny. Hello there, shiny Glamora. How are you? Hell yeah, quick catch, let's go. Another game I actually only got a free update was Super Mario Odyssey. This update didn't affect the performance at all, but load times are much faster and the game itself looks beautiful. Colors pop so much more, with Seaside Kingdom being a really standout in my opinion. Now we had assumed this first batch of free updates would be all we got, but 5 days after console launch, Nintendo decided to revive Splatoon 3 with new content after almost a year of nothing but balance changes, and they also gave the plazas a performance boost to boot? Having the lobbies, and especially the Grand Festival Plaza, at 60 frames per second is super nice, but honestly it's just a bonus when compared to the new content. Ocean Underpass has always been a dream course to return, so it seemed to be stuck in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and the fact it's mostly unchanged from its original Wii U iteration is amazing considering what they did to the other Splatoon 1 maps in Splatoon 3. And the devs absolutely cooked with some of the new weapon kits. Most of them play amazingly, and the weapons look super unique, unlike some weapons. The biggest winner in my opinion is the Camo Splat Charger and Splatter Scope. Sprinkler Crab works perfect for those weapons, and they're super fun to play. I would give more of my opinions, but the day the update came out, I was having internet issues and couldn't stream until super late. I was super tired, and I was playing with a few friends, so it's hard to actually form concrete thoughts when the comms sound like this.
What's your favorite cards against Command?
Something I don't think I can say on Twitch. Mods, bang that guy's mom.
What I like to say is I'm straight until proven otherwise, and I have not been proven otherwise.
Straight until proven guilty. Both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom got full Switch 2 versions with paid upgrades, but I decided against buying them at the time of recording, so I can't give any opinions on them, or the Google Maps knockoff they had to the mobile app either. Of course, what people were most excited for was the brand new games coming with the Switch 2, most notably Switch 2 Welcome Tour and Mario Kart World. Like the Zelda game, I didn't think Welcome Tour was too important to buy at launch, so all I got was Mario Kart. And oh my god, this game is so good! The movement feels amazing, the characters are so expressive, the roster is huge, and the music is perfect, and the environments look beautiful! Pretty much everything this game does is creative, innovative, and feels super unique after 8 full years of 8 Deluxe. That's not to say the game is a perfect 10 out of 10, however. Easily my biggest gripe is racing Grand Prix. The concept of being required to race the next track is really cool, and the way it's implemented is really fun. However, I feel it overstays its welcome. For a majority of the tracks, the first 2 laps are driving to the next track, and the final lap is one loop around the track itself. For some larger maps like DK Spaceport, this works really well. There's a good balance of driving to the track and driving on the track. But for a majority of tracks, I feel like I finally reached the destination, blink, and the race is already over. Tracks like Koopa Beach are really fun and I enjoy racing on them, but when 75% of the race is driving to Koopa Beach, I feel like I can't get attached to each track as I did in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Yes, the characters, the movement, the items, the music are all amazingly fun, but the tracks make Mario Kart for me. So when a majority of the time spent playing isn't on the tracks themselves, it makes the entire package feel kinda bland. I feel like a good compromise to this would be to just make each track with the 75-25 issue 1 lap longer. Keep 2 laps getting to the track, but give us an extra lap on the track itself, that way the ratio will be closer to a 50-50. Another issue I have with the game is how you unlock certain characters. All characters with costumes are either unlocked by default or unlocked by playing through the basic Grand Prix. You also start with a decent selection of miscellaneous characters. But the other ones? The only way to unlock them is to be transformed into them by the Kamek item. With 28 items total, it's already difficult to get Kamek to show up at all, but he also only transforms the people in front of whoever used the item. You also only get transformed if you're near the center of the track. If you're taking a shortcut, or god forbid, using the cool rail grinding or wall riding mechanic this game introduced and should be incentivizing you to use, you don't get transformed. And the worst part? Some of the transformations are location based. I really want to play as Fishbone. I think it's the perfect example of, oh, they let anyone in this game. And I really like the funny skeleton fish. But the only way to unlock him is to hope someone behind you pulls the already rare item, that you're near the center of the track when Kamek flies overhead, that Kamek actually transforms you into Fishbone, and that all of that happens on the drive from Drybone's Burnout to Toad's Factory. I've had multiple instances where I was either behind the person who used Kamek or away from the center of the road because I was doing a rail grind, and I'd just watch as people in front of me turned into Cataquack or Fishbone, and I was just left without them. Outside of those 2 problems though, the game is an absolute blast to play. I picked up my console pretty late on launch day, and by the time the system transfer was over and Mario Kart had finished downloading, it was already 10 PM. So I decided to just play it for the first time off stream with my family, and I don't have my initial reactions to the game as a whole. I did, however, save my first time playing Rainbow Road, as well as unlocking the Special Cup as a whole, for when I finally did get to stream the game on Tuesday. I've kept myself pretty much entirely spoiler-free on Rainbow Road, so I'm very excited for this. I might play as King Boo once. No, I can't. I gotta play as Drybone for the Special Cup. Oh my... What the fuck? Why is it massive? Oh, Acorn. Shit. And I missed Kamek. Don't you dare show me a bunch of cataquacks up there. Oh my god, are those cataquacks? No, they're coin coffers, thank god. On to Rainbow Road. Oh, I'm excited. I've heard such good things about this Rainbow Road. Dude, look at the map. Why is it a straight line? Where are we going? What? What? What the fuck is that? Okay. I'm pausing it for a second. I'm pausing it. I'm turning up my capture card a little bit. I want to hear this music. What the hell is this? Oh my god, the train! Yeah, there's a mix of every Rainbow Road. Oh my god, it literally is. It's a fucking space station from 8. Oh my god! Wait! One of those swamps are sick as hell. Oh god, that's the edge. Oh my god, the fucking DK robot is on the train. That's great. Oh, fuck. It might be peak. I love 7, but like, god damn! It might be peak! Rainbow Road is absolutely beautiful. By far my favorite in the entire series, beating out my previous favorite from Mario Kart 7. I only wish it was available in my favorite new edition, Knockout Tour. Knockout Tour is, well, a knock out of the park. Every issue I had with driving between the tracks and Grand Prix vanishes in this mode. The elimination style racing has a sense of urgency I've never felt in any Mario Kart game, and with the abundance of items in play at once, it is chaotic in the best possible way. By far, Knockout Tour is the absolute standout for me in the entire game, and I can see myself forever coming back to play it both on my own online, as well as with friends in local co-op. I've never been a huge fan of battle mode, but I knew all the horrors they call Mario Kart 8 battle mode on Wii U, so I was pretty worried when my friend Banana told me that all the battle maps were just on the regular tracks. However, truth be told, it's nowhere near as bad as I expected it to be. I do wish we had gotten new battle maps, but I can understand the design philosophy of attempting to keep everything on the main open world map. The mode itself is perfectly suitable as a battle mode, just not really my cup of tea. And of course I'd be remiss not to mention the free roam, Mario Kart World's big defining feature, a huge open world with tons of collectibles and missions to find and complete. Is this the next big step for Mario Kart in its quest to be the best-selling game franchise of all time? I mean, it's alright. Some of the P-Switch missions are pretty fun and challenging. It's pretty cool just to drive around freely and practice the movement, but outside of trying to complete everything, I don't see myself coming back to the game only to drive around in free roam. I think the devs thought they really had something when a random intern stood up and said, what if we made Mario Kart open world? But I'm sure partway into development, they realized it can never be as fun as they really wanted it to be because it just gets tucked into the corner of the menu screen, away from the main racing modes. Like I said, it's perfectly servable as it is, with tons of collectibles to find and challenges to complete. It's also pretty useful for unlocking new outfits as well as practicing general movement in certain track shortcuts, but ultimately I think its best use is online as something for your hands to do while waiting for the next race to start. The strangest addition to Mario Kart World in my opinion isn't the character unlocking method or the free roam, it's that you can just choose not to play the game. Both Smart Steering and Auto Accelerate are back from 8 Deluxe. This game also added an Auto Use Item as an option. I mean, you can just turn all three on, put down the controller, and the game will just play itself. I was curious to see just how well I could do without touching the controller, so when a text-to-speech message from my trusty companion Fish came in asking if he could have a turn, I decided to put him on the final Grand Prix on 150cc and just see how it went.
Father, can I play next race?
You know what? Sure, what character do you want to play as?
Fishbone, please.
I don't have Fishbone unlocked yet. That's both the ones I want.
Then Crab will do fine.
Okay, I think I have Sidestepper. Alright, Fish, good luck. My hands are off the controller. You know, do y'all even want me here? There y'all go. Actually, no. Wait. wait, I have a silly idea. There we go.
Look, Chad, I am so good at this.
You're doing great, Fish. You're doing great. what do we think? Does Fish win one game, one race? Oh my god, wait, he just hit Bowser. Wait, no, there's no way. Okay, no, he got second. Okay. Wait, he could win. He could win a game.
Easy.
Fish, this might not be your race. I'm sorry. He doesn't like the retro tracks. Oh, shortcut? Shortcut again? You know what? There is a 1 in there. I think it counts. I think there's a 1 in that number. That counts, right? He's still in top 3. If he can get top 3 overall, I'll be thoroughly impressed.
I shall win this for you, Father.
Do me proud, boy. Do me proud. Oh, he picked up a food item. No! He had a bullet bill and got shocked! No! Oh, he's sick with it. Wait a minute. He's up in 5th. Oh my god, I didn't even know you could rail grind up there. What the hell? He got 5th. I mean, that's not bad. He's in 4th overall. He needs to do somewhat well on Rainbow Road to make it top 3. I believe in you, Fish. I believe in you. You got this. Oh, the shortcut? Alright, final lap, Fish. You got this. Oh, shit. If he uses the what's called the mushrooms at a very good time near the edge, he could pull something through. Oh, no, he's down to 10. Oh, no. Fish, lock in, Fish. Oh, golden mushroom. Wait, Fish, lock the hell in. Golden mushroom is huge. Yes. If we get a good item here, so it'll be like triple reds. Oh my god! Oh, and a blue shell? Oh my, whoa, wait! Fish got thirsty! Wait, that puts him in top 3! Holy shit! Let's go, Fish! Oh my god! Ultimately, I'm really happy with my Switch 2. The Splatoon 3 and Scarlet and Violet updates are exactly what those games need right now. The console itself is everything the Switch 1 did but better, and Mario Kart World is insanely fun to play, even if I have a few issues with it. Now, do I think the console's worth $450 USD? Personally, I would say yes. It's actually the exact price I expected it to be, $100 more expensive than the Switch OLED model. The games and accessories are where I have an issue. I know the tariffs affected it, but the controllers and Switch camera are wildly expensive in my opinion. And while Mario Kart World is probably worth $70, I honestly can't decide if I think it's worth $80. Now, there was one more game that was supposed to come out on the same day as Switch 2, but released a day early on PC due to time zones. One that I personally have been waiting years for. But that's gonna have to be a story for another time. This was a bit of a different video than my previous ones, being more post-commentary instead of having straight stream highlights. So if you like what you saw, please consider subscribing and leaving a comment to let me know what you think. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time.